All right, for this video, we're going to talk about the makeup that I am loving on right now. Before I get into all of that, I am going to ask you to please do all of the things and you know what they are. This is going to be my update to the Love My Makeup project. This is a project that was started by my girl Mandy. She's over at MandyIRL on YouTube here, and I am going to have her linked down in the description box, and I will link her also in the title if I can. This is something she started doing March of 2022, and she wanted something that was no pressure, none, zero stress, nice and easy, 3 items, nice and small. And what it ended up becoming was a 10 use thing. When she first started that first, I think it was the first one she did, she wasn't sure how many uses she was going to do, but then it became a 10 use project. And this is not a hurry up and get your uses done type of thing. This is definitely very much, we'll take as many months as we want to take to get to those 10 uses. It's kind of a supplemental thing or just something we want to try. We've done both old products, new products, filler products to like give us a piece we were missing with something else in another project we were working on. This can kind of go any which way. Now, one of the things that we had started doing that I screwed up is we were doing eyes, lips, and face. And now, Mandy is so cool. Okay, she is so cool. When she started doing this, I messaged her and said, hey, can I do this with you? And she was like, oh, absolutely. I mean, anybody who wants to do this can join us. The hashtag on this is Love My Makeup Project. If you want to do this, just let me or Mandy know. That's pretty much all you got to do. It's pretty simple. And you don't have to follow, I don't think you have to follow the eyes, lips, face thing. Like I said, I screwed that up just because there was something I wanted to get in this project that didn't quite work out time-wise to keep it in the right categories. So I'm going to try and get back to that. And I think that's what Mandy is still doing. And that's kind of what I want to try and stick with because it does work pretty darn well to do it that way. And for me, I am at this point using it to A, put in new things that I want to try but take a little time trying, or B, to fill in where I am missing. And you're going to see how that works out here. So we are doing monthly updates. Obviously, I don't do mine on the 16th. I don't even think Mandy does anymore. We kind of fit this in where we can fit it in. So for me, this tends to fall a little bit earlier in the month just because that's when I have space in my calendar. Now, what I have had in the project, I got frustrated with my lip liners in my projects and brought in my Essence Stay Woke lip liner. This is a lovely and exceptionally bright pink. And now this is the second video I filmed, so if I have sparkles from other things on my hand, it's from a different video. I washed my hands off. I just couldn't get all the sparkles off. All right, so that's going to stay in because I still have 7 more uses on it. I actually do have it on today, but I have about 7 things on my lips because I was trying to play with some colors. Yeah, we're just going to let that one go. Then for face, I have the Stila blush. This is in Soul Seduction. I had 5 uses on this. When we updated last month, I have gotten 1 more use. So that means I still have got 4 more. Yeah, 10 minus 6 is 4. Wow. So I've got 4 more uses that I need to get on this before this is going to roll out. So this is going to carry over into next month also. And I'm making a mess. Man, disaster city. Okay, that's what that looks like. And you don't get a ton. Oh, geez. Okay, here we go with the lighting again, guys. Okay, now you can at least see that there's a little bit of pink on my hand. I've got it packed on there pretty well. It is a very good color for me. It is a fairly light color in general. So I'm going to leave the lights off. I like the ring light, but quite frankly, I think you guys are getting better colors when I'm not using it. I think I'm just washing myself out. So anyway, that will be remaining in for the next 4 uses. Yeah. The last thing I had brought in was this cute little Kiko Milano. This was their Joyful Holiday Baked Bronzer. It is this cute little ornament. And, okay, turn around. You can see. Hopefully you can see it has the Kiko logo in the middle of it. It is raised, so it's textured. It has a mirror. It is a baked bronzer. It is, I want to say variegated colors, and I don't think that's exactly how I want to put that. But it is not a solid one-tone bronzer. There's a lot of glow to this. And quite frankly, it is so glowy that it ends up almost being a bronzer topper for me. Because it is also very much my skin tone. Can you guys see any of the stuff I'm putting on my hand today? Good Lord. I had 8 uses on this because this was one of those things that, because I was using it as a topper, I just kept using it and didn't stop. And I'm like, okay, wait, I got to stop because I want this to not just be in and out in a month. Well, then I proceeded to use it 3 more times this last month. So I actually ended up with 11. That's fine. I'm allowed. And then I did put it away because I thought, I'm just going to keep going and I'm going to keep using this thing, which is fine. I could have, but I did not need to. So I did stop myself at 11 and put it away. Now, that means that I have a bronzer rolling out, so that means I have to roll something in. This is the part where I'm going to go back to the eyes, lips, and face. So we have got lips, we have got face, which means I'm going to bring in an eyes. This is the Urban Decay Eternals eyeliner, and I don't know what the name of the blue one was. It was a 2-pack. Okay, I got glasses somewhere. Let's see if I can find a name for you. It's one of their 24/7s. I don't know that it has a name. It's got to have a name. It's part of the Marvel thing. Cosmic Eternal, I think, is the name of it. And it is a really, really pretty, fun blue eyeliner that I'm going to bring in for 10 uses because I do not have a blue eyeliner in any of my projects. And I do a lot of monochromatic, but I also love putting blue eyeliner with pinks. Sometimes even with purples. So I wanted a blue liner back in a project, and this is where I'm going to put it. That is everything that I am doing for this particular project for this month. So let's get to the music moment. The music moment is going to be, this is a good one, the song Who Loves You. It's Who Loves You Pretty Baby. It is a Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons song, but it is also listed as Who Loves You by John Lloyd Young and Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I'm not sure why, but like if you hear the song and you Shazam it, that's what's going to come up. So then I kind of started looking into the song because I remember the song. I remember hearing it on the radio and I thought, well, all right, I know it's a Frankie Valli thing, but what am I missing here? Well, this is from the album also named Who Loves You, which is a Four Seasons album. Frankie Valli was part of the Four Seasons. This is from 1975. Now, it reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in November of 1975. The thing that is a little bit strange about this one is that there are apparently 3 singles for this song by them. So there was some weird stuff with their record label. They went from one label, then they were on a Motown label. They didn't do well there. They got dropped basically because nothing was hitting. And then, so yeah, all the Motown recordings failed to chart in the U.S. and the company dropped the band. In August of 75, this song entered the Hot 100 as one of Frankie Valli's other songs was going down the charts. And this is the final Four Seasons hit featuring bassist and backing vocalist Joe Long. So we've got, I don't even know who all here, because some of the people that were producing and composing and doing all that stuff were also participating in some of the instruments that were in the making of the song, all kinds of fun stuff. So anyway, this is just one of those odd things. Now, okay, so let's talk about, this is the one thing that I guess I really hadn't paid much attention to because I don't know that this was a big thing until the disco era. So there were 3 versions of Who Loves You released in the US. One is the album, and that is on the album version, and that's a 4-minute and 20-second long recording with a percussion intro. Then there's an A side for the single. Now this is a 4-minute, 4-second version, which starts with a fade in beginning. Okay. Then the B side is the disco version. And that extends it to 5 minutes and 28 seconds, doing the instrumental break twice. All right. This sticks out to me because 12 inches. My dad worked in record stores, real physical records on vinyl back in the day, and brought home a lot of vinyl. A lot of what you would get for promo stuff would be, a lot of times it would be extended play, which was EP. And you would get these 12-inch singles. So it was the size of a normal album. It wasn't a 45. It was a full-size album, but it would be an extended mix of whatever the single was going to be. This is also the same thing that you get in nightclubs. If you like to go out and go dancing, a lot of times if there's a DJ, you're going to get those things that you're not going to hear on the radio. You're going to actually hear the nightclub version. And that is an extended version that they specifically do for this kind of stuff. Now, I don't think that was a thing. Like when you're looking at 50s and 60s music, I don't think they were doing extended versions of things. I know that it was a big thing in the 80s. Big thing in the 80s. But I think it started in the 70s. I think it started a lot with the disco stuff. I'm not sure. This is just my speculation, okay? I have no basis for this. But this is not something that I have heard of happening before that era. Despite the fact that you could go to dances, you could go to hops, you could do all that stuff back then. When you were doing the disco thing, that's when you were getting a lot more of where they were adding more instrumental. They were making the songs longer. They were taking songs that were radio singles and they were basically making them dance songs. And that also then happened. I used to actually have a couple of Prince things back in the day that were 12-inch. Raspberry Beret, and the B-side of it was She's Always in My Hair, which is one of my favorite Prince songs. Anyway, not the point. But that was a promotional thing too. Then, however it started, it also became a promotional thing that did then go into record stores also. And you would get, the point of that was the record stores would get these things for free, hoping that they would be played in the store, because record stores had records playing in the background all the time. And we used to have like a full music collection, especially if things were still on the charts. We would have 12-inch singles, we would have albums, we would have the whole thing, and we could play whatever we wanted. We were not, well, when I worked in an indie store, okay, I don't know if there was a certain requirement to play so many things like top 40 radio. You have to play so many of the hits that are charting in the top 40 in such a time frame. So that's why you keep hearing the same songs over and over again. Record stores were a little bit different. They did like us to have current stuff. They loved giving us new stuff. Like we were getting things, I was getting things a lot of times before I was hearing them on the radio. And that was just stuff my dad was bringing home, because they would get so much stuff from all of these labels that he used to just bring home boxes of records. So it was always kind of fun where I would get to listen to albums, the A and the B side, the whole actual album. And you could follow a lot of times the layout of how the artist wanted the flow of the record to be. You could follow a storyline. You could follow a concept album. But I could go through and I would listen to see which ones I thought were going to be radio hits. So a lot of times the times these songs were getting on the radio and they were getting on the charts and getting played and played and played and played, I was already sick of them. I'd already heard them so many times. I knew all the words and I was done. I was on to the next thing. But it was a very cool thing all the time to get the promo copies of the albums. It was very cool to be getting those extended play albums, because like I said, that wasn't something, I don't know why they would get them in the record stores other than the fact that it just took more time. So you were playing that album longer. Not sure why that exactly happened. I don't think anybody that worked in the music industry knows that I do this channel. So any of my dad's old friends or any of my old friends, I don't think any of them are going to chime in and correct me if I'm wrong. So if anybody out there has any experience in this area, please, by all means, chime in. Like I said, I'm only going with what I know and what I remember. I do not have a background in that part. This is just what I lived. So that's my experience. I'm not saying it's absolute 100%. This is the reason they did it. Just telling you what I know. All right. That's enough clarification for me. I am going to get you some kind of version of this song. Like I said, when it was playing on the radio, I'm like, oh, I want to do that song. I haven't heard it in a while. That'd be a really good one for me to throw on a music moment. So I just Shazammed it. And then I just sent it to my messages. So then when I went to look it up, oh, and that was the other thing. It's in Jersey Boys. It becomes the outro, essentially, for Jersey Boys, but they changed it for that too. Anyway, Jersey Boys being about I think it's about the Four Seasons completely. I'm pretty sure. So all that music is in there, and it's in that too, which means there is another version, two versions, I think, based on Jersey Boys, the Broadway version of it, and then another cast version of it. So I think there's 5 versions of this song that are all attributed to the Four Seasons, essentially. Anyway, not the point. I will find you something, hopefully somewhat true to form, one of the 3 original versions that they released, to link down in the description box for you if you want to go give it a listen, and, hopefully it'll be something interesting to watch. I don't have any clue what's out there. So, until next time, everybody, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for letting me babble just incessantly and off on every tangent possible, because, we got a crazy train every once in a while around here. Until next time, thank you so much. See ya. Bye.